Sound, speed, background action, action.
Atia Prettyman.
Michelle Romano. I remember back when I was 18, 19, 19, 20. Anyway, my father comes home one day and says, I need you to do me a favor. I said, sure. He said, one of my clients' daughters wants to go try out for the Philadelphia Eagle cheerleaders. And I said that you would go with her. I said, oh, but I never did this before. He said, it's okay, just do me this favor, please, and go. So I said, okay. So we had to be down at Veterans Stadium at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Now, I'm out the night before till about 1:30. Oh, I had to pick her up too, on top of it. So I get up, I'm like, I'm not a cheerleader, this is not what I want to do. I put on some shorts, I put on a hoodie with a zipper, I threw my hair in a ponytail, threw in a little makeup, and off I went. So I pick her up, I don't remember her name, but we drive down, and we get there, and there are girls in bikinis and bathing suits, and we both look at each other like, oh my God, what are we doing here? So we said, well, we're here, let's go through the process. Well, there were 863 girls that day trying out. It was a long day. There were spectators, mostly all guys, who came, and a board, a panel, which were, I forget who, the choreographer, the photographer, and some other people. So you have to do this routine, and they cut down to 100 girls, so we both made it. Okay, this was great. Then they cut down again. She didn't make it, and I did. So we had to wait again, and she wanted to go home, and I said, well, can you wait? Because I want to see what happens. So she wasn't very happy about that. So we cut again, and I made the cut again. So, but she got really upset and had somebody come pick her up. So it came all the way down to I forget how many girls, and we had an interview. So we scheduled an interview. I go to the office, and it was this big table, me on one side by myself, and then about 4 or 5 people on the other side. Question, 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 questions. So I was very confident, and I sat there, boom, boom, boom. I answered the best I could. And I go home, and a couple of days later, my mother comes wakes me up. She goes, "I got you have a phone call. It's the Eagles." So I go on, and they said, how would you like to be a Philadelphia Eagle cheerleader? I was like so excited because I never wanted to do it. So here I am, I got one. My father was like handing out cigars like his daughter, like he just had a baby or something. But he was really proud, and it was a great experience. So that's the story.
Yes.
Atia Prettyman.
Michelle Romano.
So I am like a really huge sports fan. And I like all different types of sports, like tennis and football and basketball. And so my sisters hate when I watch a basketball game because I'm like all the way in and I'm like screaming at the TV and I'm like so close to the TV and they're like, oh my God, it's just you in the room. Like, why are you so loud? And I'm like clapping and I'm like, defense and what are you doing and move? Like, I'm like loud. And so this one day they got really, really sick of me. And I was watching a finals game. So it was like very, 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 very intense. And so I'm like, I clap really, really loud. I'm little, but I make really, really loud noises. And so I was clapping and I was like, come on, you know. And so my sister comes over to me and she hands me 2 oven mitts. And she's like, put these on right now. And so I was like, why? I mean, I'm into it. So I had to watch the rest of the game. Like, anything that happened, I'm like, and it was like silent. And I was like, into it. And I was like, forget it. And I took them off. And I was just like, I'm going to watch the game. Like, I watched the game. Y'all can get out if y'all don't want to do it or hear me. And so that's what I did for the rest of the night.
Good for you.
Names, please.
Michelle Romano.
Atia Pretty.
Changing chairs. Julie, good.
Oh, is it me?
Yep,
Okay.
standing by, okay, and we're rolling, and names please?
Michelle Romano.
Let's see, pretty things, right. So today after I got off of work, I went to my mom's house, and it was her aunt and her cousin there. And so we started talking about travel and going places and everything like that. And so we was talking about cruises, and my mom said, you know, I want to go on the Disney cruise. And then her aunts was telling her all these cruises they went on and everything. And so when she started talking about Disney, we started talking about Disneyland and Disney World. And so I was telling them the story of what happened to me and my sisters. I hadn't been to Disneyland since I was like 11. And one of my clients, she does like the project work on like the production work on the rides and different things like that. So she had asked me, she said, you know, when was the last time? And I said, you know, 1989 was when I went. And I was like 11, so she was like, you know what, you need to go and see it now. And so she took me and my sisters, and we didn't have to pay anything, so that was a bonus. I was like, thank you. So when we went, we got on this ride called the Star Trooper, and it has like the Star Wars, and you know, it's like a Star Wars ride. So it's like 4 rows and everything like that. So you file in, and then I was filing in, and so it was a seat next to me, and I was going to sit in this seat, but my sister was like, no, I want you to sit in this seat. So we were arguing over the seat, and I was like, okay, fine. So I sit in the seat, and then the ride starts, and oh my goodness, it's like virtual. So you feel like you're moving, but it's virtual. So Darth Vader comes out on the screen, and he stops the ride, and he's like, there's a spy on the ride, and my face comes up on the screen, and it's absolutely, I look retarded, and I was so mad, like, it's my sister's fault that I'm sitting in this chair, and I was so upset, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I felt so embarrassed or whatever. So I get off the ride, we get off the ride at the end. So this man stops me and was like, I knew you were a spy. I could tell in the line, the way you were talking and everything like that. I was like, wow. I mean, and so I had to really get over that for the rest of the day, but that was my Disneyland story.
That was fun.
Names please?
Michelle Romano.
It's here, pretty much.
I have an embarrassing story. I have a townhouse that I rent out, and it needs some landscaping done. So my brother said, why don't you use the guy that I used? His name is Nello. So I said, okay, I'll call and get a price. So I called him, we set up an appointment. Now I'm driving there that day, and there was traffic. So I said, oh, you know what, I should text him and tell him I'm going to be a little bit late. So I put his name in, but the traffic started moving, so I never texted him. Anyway, I get there, and I'm a couple minutes early, and he pulls up, and he gets out of the car, and I was like, oh, he was good looking. So, and he was dressed in a suit, and he said, I'm sorry. He said, I was at a funeral, so that's why I'm dressed this way. And I said, no, not a problem. So we talked, and I told him what I was looking to do, something simple, not spend a lot of money. And he understood, and we started talking about his mom owns the nursery, and his wife, and what she does, and all this stuff. So anyway, he said he would get back to me with a price. So I get back in the car, and I thought, oh my God, I have to tell my brother. So I thought my brother's name, I just started the text, not realizing it was Nello that I'm texting. So I said, the text was, John, I just met with Nello. He's so nice, and he's so good looking. Too bad he's married. And I hit send. Now, I had no idea. So I'm driving, and then it beeps back, and I look up, and it says, thank you for the compliment. I think you're pretty good looking, too. Exactly what I did in the car. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I was like, oh my, what am I going to do? I mean, it's already out there, right? So I took a few minutes. I thought, oh my God, I was was just like livid. I couldn't believe that I did that. So I went back and said, oh, well, I said, well, you must get that compliment all the time. Thank you very much, or whatever. I was just embarrassing. I thought it was such an embarrassing story that I thought I'd tell it to you.
And names?
Michelle Romano.
That's what you're putting in.
Thank you.